You can relax, that's the name of our podcast.
Hello. Welcome to Relax the Podcast with Colleen Ballinger and English Muffin.
I'm eating an English muffin. I don't like English muffins, but
Come
it was
on.
good. What is an English muffin?
You're going to eat an English muffin?
Why is it that
at the start of the episode and then hate on it?
It's kind of sour a little bit.
Well, because it's sourdough.
Is it?
It's a sourdough muffin. Yeah. Come on.
That's why I don't like sourdough bread.
Grow up.
I know, right? So annoying.
I think they're incredible. I used to have them as a kid. My mom would make them for us. And she would like make her own like cinnamon sugar thing and put it on with butter.
She'd make the sourdough muffins too?
No. You would just get like the your standard grocery store English muffin, but you make your own like cinnamon sugar mixture, put it on with butter. Mm-hmm. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah. I did not know it was sourdough.
Eggs Benedict, historically with an English muffin.
Yeah, that's true. I like that.
I can't think of any other uses for it.
Well, don't they use them at McDonald's for their like egg McMuffins?
It seems like, yeah, that's kind of an egg McMuffin thing. It's an English muffin, yeah. That's not my lane. That's more your lane, but like.
No. Breakfast.
You're just eating one.
I would never.
You're eating one in desperation.
I'm just so hungry. It's late and But
you bought them is the thing. They're
because
not
I
in
thought
the
the
house
kids would like
I
them.
bought them.
I thought the kids would like them. Sometimes I'll get new things because I'm like, maybe the kids will enjoy this.
Who liked them?
Well, Wesley loves carbs.
Maisie liked them.
Maisie likes everything, but Wesley loves carbs. So I was like, maybe he'll like these.
He carb loads.
Mm-hmm. Lovey, I have some things I'm excited to talk about today.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It's late. We're doing a late episode again, guys.
Uh-oh.
It's going to get crazy.
It's going to get freaky.
Maybe. You never know. I'm going to have to undress at some point.
I know. You do.
Because last week, Erik.
You promised. I did. I remembered.
I love that we're acting, well, we're not really, but like as if it's so crazy. But last week, Erik, he had challenged me to find him a male romper because I love wearing rompers. And I found him one and he wore it at the end of the episode. Mm-hmm. But when we initially talked about this, we said I was going to you wanted me to wear a suit for some. I don't know. Why did you want me to wear a suit? Doesn't even make sense. Because romper, it was like, I wear rompers like every day in the summer. And so it was like, oh, did they even make this for men? And so I was like, yeah, well, somehow you challenged me to find you one and I did. But I don't know why you were like, and you'll wear a suit.
It seems like you just figured it out because it was like the antithesis of like.
Who figured it out?
You just talked it out. You're like, and then I said you wear a suit.
Yeah, but why? Why a suit? Because a romper is what I wear every single day. So it makes sense that I'd be like, oh, I have to find, you wanted me to find one for you because it's something I wear all the time.
Matter.
And it's not something for.
We're putting a suit on you.
But why did you want me to have a suit? What's the connection between the romper and the suit?
I don't know. You'd have to go back and rewatch that episode, I guess.
It's a lot of work.
Or re-listen.
But I'm doing what you did, I guess. So I'm going to wait. Because you'd.
Wait for it.
But you have a suit for me?
Yes.
I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever worn a suit for real. Like I've only worn suits for costumey reasons.
Well, we're going to do it live.
Nice.
We'll do it live.
Let's talk about who needs to relax. Well, actually,
you don't know
what we should say. What?
We'll do it live.
I mean, I just assume it means what you said.
It's from something.
What's it from?
Do you know who Bill O'Reilly is?
Bill O'Reilly Auto Parts.
He was like a news host. He then became a Fox News host, but like he was a news host and he got caught on camera screaming at his crew like, "We'll just do it live." And it's like this really funny behind the scenes video of him screaming at his crew, "We'll do it live. I'll just do it live," and he's swearing, and it's really. I'll show it to you after. It's really funny.
I didn't know that was a real person. I thought the Bill O'Reilly Auto Parts was a. Is that right? Is it Bill O'Reilly?
Well, I think it's just O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh,
Bill O'Reilly is. I mean,
he's not connected.
It's not. Yeah, not affiliated with that I know of.
I don't know.
I think that's just
what I thought when you said that name.
In the world, some people have the same last names.
I've heard about that,
especially when they're common.
Yeah. Wait, why are we talking about that person?
My last name is AutoNation.
Huh?
It's another auto parts store. Can you imagine if my last name was AutoNation? It's another auto parts store.
Oh, so they don't have a jingle, so who cares?
AutoNation.
What's their jingle?
AutoNation. Automation.
There's a few jingles that like get stuck in your head. There's that one, like I'll always know. There was another one, 580-2300 Empire today.
Yeah.
Like always remember that tune?
Of course.
But they're to the most random things, like to an auto parts store. And what even is Empire today?
I don't know, but this is if LinkedIn had a post. We need a jingle writer. I feel like I would submit us immediately. I feel like we would be really good at writing a jingle.
Should we write a jingle for LinkedIn?
Not for LinkedIn, but
that's what you said.
Somebody. No, I mean, I want to make. I mean,
you guys tell us in the comments. Tell us in the comments what's a company or brand or whatever
doesn't have a jingle.
Won't be mad if we make one for them and feel like, because obviously we're not going to be sponsored by any of these things.
But they should.
So it can be something random. It can be like cheese.
But they should pay us. Yeah, cheese.
Like something like that. Like tell us what we should write a jingle for.
And the top one we will.
Yeah, so like your favorites, because if you whatever one is like the most liked.
And then we'll have a jingle next episode for the top.
Don't promise that because it's not going to happen.
No, because this is what excites me, and I want to do it.
Okay. Well then,
I wish we could do it now.
Okay.
I wish we were live and we could just do it now.
Anyway, why are we talking about Bill O'Reilly Auto Parts?
I don't know.
Dang it! Now it's gone from our minds forever. This is what happens at nighttime episodes. I'm going to put on the suit later. A little bit later.
Because you're going to wear a suit. Yeah.
Oh,
that's why.
I wanted to say, if we're really going like who or what needs to relax, the list is long this week. So I'm just going to say it's pretty obvious there's a lot of things that need to relax lately in the universe and the world.
We're recording on Monday night.
Mm-hmm. But
so who knows
what's happened by Wednesday. The world is even still here. But
each day is 400
I'm going to choose
hours.
to focus on maybe lighter things today for this podcast episode instead of like what I actually think needs to relax, which is a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Was that your relax though? Was it going to be something to do with
ice? Yeah. I mean,
was it?
No, I wasn't going to, I mean.
Yeah. Well, what's your relax?
Fuck them, but yeah. My relax was we are currently in the later stages of potty training.
They're definitely potty trained.
Okay.
They're not in the later stages.
I guess, I'm sorry. Yes, but their butts are smaller than our butts.
That's true.
So we have these toilet seat inserts.
Oh, yes. Okay.
This is where I was going.
I was going to say, they've been potty trained for a while. But we have these. But
so we have, at every toilet in our house, which is 3.5, there is like a little, it's like a mini toilet seat that fits into the bigger toilet seat with two kind of like hand rests on the side. It's like kind of if you have an adapter for your phone and you're traveling in Europe, it's like that, but for a toilet seat. And we have that on the side of every toilet seat in our house for when they need to use it because they have small butts. Have you ever humbled yourself? I wanted to ask you this. I haven't asked you this before. By accidentally sitting on one of those?
It sounds like something I would do, but I haven't because I guess I always look at a toilet before I sit down on it because I don't want to sit on pee because I didn't
mean for this to be an insurrection. Is this an insurrection against me?
No, because there's also a 6-year-old
insurrection.
But yeah, we could use those little tiny plastic miniature potties, but we use those with Flynn, and they are so gross to me because like you have to clean them out every time they pee and poo, and I really don't like those. So that's why we use the little inserts. Yeah.
So we have a toilet in our house that is a smart toilet that has a lid that opens and closes. And it can be it can deceive you because if it closes on the child insert, you can't really see it's there. So if you go in blind and then the lid auto opens and then you sit down, it is possible theoretically to sit on the child's insert toilet seat.
And this happened to you?
And it did.
How was that?
For the first time. Humbling.
Yeah.
It made me feel...
I mean, you didn't stay on it.
I didn't stay on it, no. But it made me feel big. It made me feel like I had a fat...
Did it break?
It made me feel like I had a fat...
Yeah? Did it break?
Did it break? No, it didn't break.
Yeah.
No, I just was like, oh...
You didn't start your business.
No. I don't think that's possible, but... Oh, you can't relate to this. It is kind of a game to try and pee through. We do a lot of toilet talk on this podcast, so maybe this is too much, but
okay, but now I'm intrigued. You do a game? What do you mean we? Men as a collective?
Well, if I didn't accidentally sit down on it, which did happen once, and it was humbling, like I said, because it made me feel like I had a BBL, you know? But when you just go to pee, You could, and if it's left there from the kid used it before you, you could just take the insert off and use the bath, do it. Or it could become a game where you're like, can I pee through the little, it's now a smaller target, let's say.
You do not pee on our child's potty seat, do you?
No, I'm not peeing on it. But it's a game to try and pee in the smaller hole.
Well, you're obviously going to dribble about. You clean that off after, right?
What do you mean dribble about? This is like, I'm talking about like target practice.
Sure. But when you have a stream and then when the stream slows down and it's like out of steam, it's not going to just stay the same constant stream and then like just stop. It's going to like,
well, that's part of the dance.
Well, regardless, you clean that after, right?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm not peeing on toilet seats and then like if I accident, which I mean rarely, it never happens. If ever, I am then cleaning it up. Okay. What are you, Jim from The Office, doing into camera lens right now?
I'm just looking at the pretty camera is all.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a game for you to play.
But you can't relate to that.
Well, no, I don't sit on the toilet seat, on the baby's toilet seat, to pee.
Try it.
And I remove it. And if I had a ding-a-ling, first of all,
tell me about it.
I would sit down to pee and I would wipe because I think that's my hot take. And I've talked about it before somewhere. I don't know if it was here, a vlog or some podcast somewhere, but like, I think men should be wiping pee. Because it dribbles. Sure. I don't understand why men
Nobody's
don't.
saying you're like wrong.
I think a lot of people would say I'm wrong. I think if I was a dude, I would sit to pee and I think I would also wipe to pee after peeing. Yeah, that's just me.
Have you ever tried to shake yours?
Yeah, it doesn't work. There's still dribblies.
You've shooken it?
Yeah, I've shaken. But not if I have toilet paper, but like if there's not toilet paper or if like I'm out, I've had to pee a couple times not in a bathroom. And yeah, there's times where
what's your version of a shake? Your shake is like a
well, you have to wait longer. So you have to wait a long time for it really to like be done dribbling, dripping, Guaranteed there's pee in every man's underwear. Guaranteed.
Why would you say that? It sounds like you hate us.
What? By saying facts? Unless the man is wiping, blotting, perhaps.
I would say objection, Your Honor, and then put into evidence.
Take a black light to your underwear right now.
Fair enough. I will, and we have one if you put yours in one.
Oh,
because objection, Your Honor, I submit to evidence your underwear.
Mine will have pee, but it'll have lots of things. We don't. I mean, yeah. If you put black light to my underwear, okay, we got to change.
This is going great.
But this, I'm just saying. It's my weird hot take.
Abolish ice.
Okay. Right. Have you seen the girl on TikTok? It went a little viral. She is colorblind, and she's like realizing in real time she's colorblind. Have you seen or heard about this? She has a gray couch and she thinks it's blue.
No, not at all. But I hate that you do this to me all the time where I say things are a certain color and you're like, oh my gosh, you're colorblind because you're actually colorblind. That's my hypothesis. But
we'll take a colorblind test right now.
Thank goodness. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so this woman, she's like, hey guys, this is so weird. I think she like put a couch on or chair on Marketplace or something. Like one of those Marketplace. I don't know. I don't do Facebook Marketplace.
People called her out. She called it the wrong color.
Well, someone was like, hey, I'm interested in your chair. And she's like, oh, this blue chair. And
what a funny way to figure
was like,
out.
What?
Yeah.
Do you mean the gray one? And she's like, no, you mean the blue one? And she came on TikTok to be like, you guys, this person is saying that this chair is that's gray, funny. But it's definitely blue. And she talks for a while. So it's kind of like a perfect storm of like, it's like the buildup because you're watching going like, it's probably going to be like a bluish gray or like one of those colors that like people could argue. Because whenever I say you don't say color right, it could be argued like kind of either way. A lot of times I think like some people would see it was like, it's like on the, it's teeter tottering, you know? She turns the camera around and it is like definition gray. Like it is, there's not blue inside. Like it is the most bluest of, it's the most grays of gray chairs. And then she's like, and I got it to match my blue couch. And she shows her couch and it is very gray. And the comments are like, whoa, those are not blue at all. Like they're very much not blue. And she kind of like, she doesn't fight it, but she kind of fights it. Like she makes another, she's like, I think it's my phone. I think it's lighting. Like they're definitely, I see what you're saying. Like they could look gray, but it's also kind of bluish. And she's like, and people are like, no, you're wrong. They're gray. And so she like keeps making videos about it. And it's been fascinating to watch this woman realize in real time. So like, there's this one video that I love. I guess I'll show you it. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Or should I just keep telling you about it? But she doesn't need to relax. She's not the person who I think needs to relax. Just color blindness, I think in general is so insane. Well, it's just been fascinating to watch an adult woman find out for the first time ever. Like, how did she go through her whole life and never know that she was colorblind?
Well, I think that was you last weekend with our kids' shirts, which you were like, these are orange. But they
were orange.
And they were.
They could be considered a salmony orange.
We asked 7 adults around us, and they were like, "No, that's not orange. That's like a reddish, weird salmon color." Like, but you argued, "No, that's orange."
I argued it.
And you're like, "No, let me ask this person." They were like, "Yeah, no, that's not orange. That's like a salmony red."
Okay.
And then you asked your brother, and he was like, "Yeah, no, that's like a."
No one said.
Your sister, and she was like, "Yeah, no, that's not orange."
So annoying right now. No one said no, it is not orange. Everyone's like, "Yeah, it's like orange, but it's like between salmon and orange." You said it's red, and that's why I was like,
"No, I didn't say it's red. I said it's like a peachy reddish orange. I said it's not orange."
You said red. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is not
actual
about that.
Rage.
Well, because you're lying. You're lying.
It's like
you're saying
verbatim conversation.
Oh, I could scream. What I wanted to show you is this video of this woman, because she says, here, I'll just show you because I think it's glorious. Hold on.
No. The couch and chair are blue. They're blue, I gathered. We're going to do a test. Okay. The blinds are open. The light is on. This is blue.
It's gray.
And blue.
It's like the most generic office IKEA blue? Gray.
The couch is navy. The couch was never part of the question. The couch has always been dark blue. If I swear to God, if someone says that this is also gray, no. Hold on.
Isn't that amazing?
She just holds up a gray blanket.
She just holds up the most gray blanket. She's like, if someone says this is gray, but it's been so funny to watch. And then she like a couple days later, pop back up on, or maybe the next day, pop back up on my For You page again, because she's like, some of you are asking now that that's all over. Like, I admit it. Like, I guess I might be colorblind or something. They're gray. But you guys were asking me to go around my house and show you things in my house and tell you what color they are. So I'm going to show you the vision for my living room and like what I had in mind, because I never wanted a gray couch. I wanted blue, and I'll show you why. And she's showing her rug and like her furniture and what she wanted everything to look like. And then she shows a like brown, like a tannish brown chair. And she's like, and this olive green chair. And people are like, oh no, that is not green. So then as proof, she puts a green olive on the chair. And she's like, here's proof that this is literally green, olive green. And the comments are like, all this proves is that you put an olive on a brown chair. Like, but it's been so funny to watch. Yeah. And I just was hoping you had seen it, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's been so amusing to watch. But we should do the colorblind test.
I think you are. I think, and poor her and respect, but like, I don't think the cones in her eyes are working right when they're receiving light. And
I guess there's different kinds
for
of
you as well. And I know it's really, it's obviously really upsetting. You know what I mean? To like find that out. And it would be for me too. Like,
I think we should both take the colorblind test right now and then come back and say what our scores are. Okay. We both just took the colorblind test off camera. And mine says normal color vision.
So does mine.
So we're both not colorblind.
Yeah. Congrats. You can see up to 1 million distinct shapes of color.
Yep.
1 in 12 men and 1 in 200 women with colorblindness may see up to 10%. Wait, what? So is it more likely that men have colorblindness then? Is that what that indicates?
Yeah.
If it's 1 in 12 versus 1 in 200 women?
Yeah.
See less than 10% of colors?
I feel like I remember your brother saying he was colorblind.
I don't know. Maybe.
Am I remembering that wrong? I guess we'll find out soon enough. But maybe that wasn't as interesting as I thought it was going to be. But I did have other things that might be more interesting that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Before I put on a suit.
Okay.
So, as you know, we have skunks that hang out in our backyard.
Mm-hmm. But they live in our backyard, yeah.
So there's been a few times where I've gone outside and they've been living in like these agave plants, these century plants, we think.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, they come out.
We see them and
they come out
like
of them.
Come out of there and
they
on
go
the
back
security
into
cameras.
them.
Yeah. So I assume they might be living in there. I don't know. But
in burrows? Do skunks live in burrows?
They live, from what I looked up about it, they live like, they can live under your, like it says like they live under your porch. They live in empty trees, skunks, empty tree. What's trunks? Oh my God. Why could I not think of the word trunk?
I don't know.
Anyway, is it really called a tree trunk?
What?
Is that what that's called? A tree stump. That's what's a tree trunk?
The trunk?
A trunk's an elephant thing.
What's going on? Am I being
I don't know. But wait, is it, why am I having, you never hear.
A stump is like a cut off tree and it's just like the stump. The trunk of a tree is like the part that, like the trunk, like the part that goes up.
Why does that feel so wrong? I don't know why the trunk of a tree sounds wrong to me right now. I just can only think of an elephant trunk.
That's why. I don't know. You're tired.
I don't know. But anyway,
Suitcase? A suitcase? Some people call it trunk.
Oh, yes. Wait, no?
I like my trunk.
No, they don't. Wait,
like my
suitcase is
suitcase.
in a trunk? The like box, the big box
Yeah,
thing?
some people call that a trunk.
Well, I wouldn't call it a suitcase.
The trunk of your car.
Oh, yeah, there are lots of versions. Why is there so many versions of a trunk?
Of a tree.
Why is trunk used so often?
Why is trunk bothering you so much right now?
Well, just because it's like, you can make up any word. Why do they use the same word over and over again for so many different things? That's confusing. The trunk of a car, a trunk that like you hold things in, the trunk of a tree and a trunk of an elephant. There's a lot of trunks.
That's why English is a Romance language, you know? So many different meanings.
Anyway, the skunks that are living in the bushes outside, I, have a love-hate relationship with because they're obviously skunks, and skunks scare me because I don't want to get sprayed by a skunk. I hate the smell of skunk.
They ruined our house for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So skunks, skunks aren't something that I've ever been like interested in, but.
You think they're cute?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like now I see them all the time in the cameras and I've gotten used to them.
You see the mom and the babies, yeah.
And
adolescents now.
Yeah, I've gotten so used to them that even though I've never seen them in person, obviously, I've only seen them through the camera. I've come close to seeing them in person quite a few times because they come out during the day for some reason. And so I've almost run into them a few times. Like I've seen on the security cameras, like they're out there 5 minutes or before or after me sometimes in the same spot as me. But I've kind of started to I'm like these little dudes.
I feel like you named them.
Well, Wesley named the first one, which was Bathtub. There was like one main skunk that was like hanging out around our house. And then Bathtub got real big. And Bathtub then was gone for a little bit. And suddenly there was like a baby,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many babies total there was, but I definitely know there was at least 2 because I've seen Bathtub with 2 babies. And now the babies look full grown. So you can't really, it's hard to tell them apart. However, I was thinking about how there was one night months ago where there was on the security cameras, the skunk I'd never seen before. And it was the craziest looking skunk. It was missing an eye. It had a limp and its hair looked foul. Like it looked like it was the first time I saw a skunk and I was like, oh, that is a grotesque. It's like how, when you look at a possum or like there's some gross animals, you're like, ugh, this skunk was gross. And it came right up to the camera and it was like making these gross chewing noises, but it was full on eyeball gone. Like it was the craziest looking skunk. But then all of a sudden,
seen some shit, skunk.
Or not seen. But then all of a sudden, Bathtub is getting bigger and then Bathtub disappears. And then so I think that might've been the dad. I think it was a deadbeat dad because I never saw him again. I think Bathtub's.
Or maybe he's out working hard, providing for his
He's
family.
Definitely not.
Has lost an eye.
No, he definitely is not providing. I never saw him again.
High ankle sprain.
I was like, I want to know. Okay, so all I've ever known about skunks is that they stink.
Yeah, where are you going?
So I looked up a bunch of information about skunks.
Okay.
And I think maybe I have a new favorite thing.
Oh, gosh.
I think I love skunks. Okay, skunks.
What a ride. Go for it.
What do you mean?
Like how we got here, but yes, go ahead.
Okay, skunks first. They eat bees and wasps.
Fantastic.
That's cool. That's like badass.
Uh-huh.
Not only that, they're not the venom in snakes. They're immune to it. So they can eat snakes. They often will eat rattlesnakes.
Because they're immune to the venom.
Yes.
Great. Love it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Did not know that fact.
Okay. So they can aim really well with their sprays out their butts.
Okay.
And they can aim it like they can shoot like up to 10 feet or something like that. And they have really good aim. I didn't know. I thought it was just like turn and then they just like spray and
Just
like
like a
hope for the
gas.
best. But they aim for the eyes. And like if they get it in your eyes, like you get temporary blindness. That crazy?
It's not great.
Sounds horrible. They also, they're only found in North and South America. I did not know that.
Didn't know that either. Yeah, there's
That was
not
interesting
like,
to me.
There's not like Australian skunks.
No. But they're
And these are facts that
Yes.
you're an expert. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the way they look like they're white stripes or black and white stripes because they're nocturnal, so they're out at night. So a lot of animals want to be like a camouflage vibe, you know?
Mhm.
But there's obviously not like skunks you see from far away because they're like, hello, black and white. It's very jarring. But their stripes, their white stripes point to like, hey, danger. The stripes point to the booty.
So in the animal kingdom, they're indicating.
They're like, hey, this is pointing to my weapon, which is my ass.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Okay.
It'll get you. They have 2 anal glands that hold the spray, like little glands that are right by their booty hole.
Mm-hmm.
And they can spray like up to 6 times in a row, but it takes them like over a week to refill their glands with skunk spray. They have to replenish it every time they spray. They don't have like an endless supply, just like keep going and going and going.
Not like someone I know.
I know, not like me. But this is what I'm saying. I'm like, I think I have a lot more in common with skunks than I initially thought.
Except your glands are always ready to go.
They're always full. Their spray is highly flammable.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that?
I believe that because when there was an incident here recently, it smelled like the worst thing I've ever smelled plus gasoline. Like it smelled like, and it looked like you could light it on fire. I didn't try to, but I should
Yeah,
have.
it's bad.
Uh-huh.
1 in 1,000 people can't smell skunks. Imagine being that person.
Imagine being colorblind and you can't smell skunks.
I wonder if that person exists.
Lucky.
Their lifespan's only about 3 years, which is kind of sad.
Aw,
I know.
that's so short.
I know.
That's not enough time.
And so the more and more I learned, I was like, wait a minute. Can I have one? Like, can you have a pet skunk?
I'm sure somebody does.
So I looked it up
Let
and
me
you
guess.
can.
What do you mean you can?
Not here. It's illegal in California, but there's 17 states in America where you can have a pet skunk. And I know this is true because I Googled it, but also I would then like went on TikTok and I just searched like skunk. And there's like all these people with like a pet skunk in their house, like a cat. Like they just have a pet skunk.
17 states?
Yes.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Florida.
Yes.
Arkansas.
I don't see that on here now.
Alabama.
Yes.
Pennsylvania.
Yes. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing good.
I can't name any more states.
You can. You can.
Wisconsin.
Yes.
Michigan.
No.
Good for you.
Yes. Wait.
Michigan.
Michigan's.
Dang
Yes.
it.
You can. You can. I'll just tell you.
Okay.
You can in Alabama, Florida, Indiana, Iowa, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, Ohio, Oklahoma,
Jersey, what's up? Come on,
Oregon,
bro.
Pennsylvania, South Dakota, West Virginia,
Oregon.
Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Now, there are a lot of like permits and things and regulations and things you
I
have
don't
to go
believe this
through.
list.
And obviously, my thought was like, well, you have to remove the anal glands if you're going to have a skunk in your house.
Don't say anal glands on this podcast, love.
Well,
This is a highbrow.
but every time I was reading, when I was
Can't say
reading about
anal
it,
glands.
I kept seeing things that would be like, if you choose to have the anal glands removed.
Stop
And I'm like,
saying anal glands. I
so
just
wait,
literally just said
there's
you can't.
people out there. I wonder if there's a person out there with a pet skunk that didn't get it removed. It just like has one that just sprays. That's
Maybe it's
crazy.
for
Maybe it's one of the people, 1 in 1,000 people who can't smell skunks.
also maybe it's like for security, like it's like self-defense, home defense, like a
Well, anyway,
security
I thought all
system.
this was fascinating, and now I like skunks a lot. So it wasn't interesting to you, but I really enjoyed it. And I also have a question for you now because
Okay.
there's something I didn't know
Uh-huh.
and still sometimes confuses me a lot. Because it was brought up in the thing about the venomous snakes and the skunks can eat the venom doesn't affect them. Do you know the difference between venomous and poisonous?
I don't like the way you say venomous.
Why?
Can you say it again?
Venomous?
That's not how you said it before. Venomous. You're
Oh.
like venomous.
Venomous?
The difference between venom and poison?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't.
I didn't know there was a difference. I thought it was the same thing, kind of.
Well, I mean, as a like poison as like a verb, like to poison, like, or do you mean like?
Well, no, like I said, like because sometimes we'll be like, oh, like if Flynn is, looking for bugs, or whatever, but make sure it's not poisonous. Like, oh, don't touch that. It's might be poisonous. We don't know if that's poisonous. We don't know if that's,
I would say that about a plant, but I feel like with like a reptile or amphibian, I would say, yeah, venomous, or yeah, I guess maybe poisonous more if it's like a frog or something. But yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, that's correct what you just said.
Yeah.
Because it's venomous is something that like injects the venom into your bloodstream, whereas poisonous is like to the touch. So more like plants would be poisonous, and like some frogs, poisonous.
Yeah.
Or also poisonous is to the touch or ingested, like if you eat it. So like a blue ring.
So venom means to be injected with
like with fangs or with a stinger.
Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And poisonous, and some things are poisonous and venomous. So like the blue ring octopus, what is it called? The 2-spot blue ring something? Mm-hmm. What is it called? The blue ring octopus?
Blue ring octopus, yeah.
Anyway, whatever that one is, that is venomous and poisonous, because if it bites you, it's a venomous bite. But if you eat it, it's poisonous to eat. So some things that are both.
Just like your anal glands.
I hope those don't bite.
It was the worst attempt
that was
at a callback.
Strange one. It was I guess it was a kind of good attempt.
It's like a nighttime podcast callback.
All we've talked about are butts and anal glands today. Anyway, sorry. I
when are you going to put on this suit, love?
I can do it now if you'd like.
That's okay. You got more.
I do, but I can do it for another time. It's fine. No.
This is just like when we're hanging out at night. Just show me another TikTok. What do you got?
No, let's do it. Let's put on the suit. Okay, so Erik has picked out a suit for me. He says he wants to put it on me. So he's going to dress me.
I'm going to dress you. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So where are we? We're just doing this right here?
Stand up.
So you're just going to see our legs?
What? So these are pants.
I see those pants. There's nothing fancy. Is this your suit? I'm assuming this is your suit. I will say I bought you your own rompers. And
should I have bought you a suit? Here's what you're saying?
I thought that was the thing. But it's fine. Okay, here, suit, pants going up over jeans, which is a vibe. Okay, is this suit? Where have you worn this suit?
I was in a wedding.
But wait, did you have to buy because at bridal parties they make you buy a specific color and all that. So this is like at what all the men wore. This suit.
And I had to buy the suit. Yeah. And I had to buy the suit. Yes.
Okay, putting on the shirt. I'm sitting down just so they can see. Okay, there we go. I literally do not remember why you said I had to wear a suit.
I don't either, but you got to stand up. We got to do a little tuck.
Okay, I think we should cut the cameras for a minute here. They're only seeing our waists and our legs. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right, everyone. So I turned off the camera, turned off the microphones. I went and finished putting on the suit. When I came back, I turned on the camera, and then I thought I turned on the microphones, but maybe I didn't. I'm not quite sure. Something happened, and the audio just isn't working for the end of this episode. So you can see it. We did record it with the camera, but you won't be able to hear it well. I'm just going to use the audio from the camera for the end of this episode, as opposed to the pretty beautiful sound you usually hear with our fancy microphones, because I'm a silly goose and somehow messed up turning the microphones back on. So I am sorry about that. The sound quality for the end of this episode is a little wonky, but at least I look really dapper in a suit. So enjoy. Okay, you guys ready for the reveal? Dun, 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 dun.
How's it feel?
It feels like a suit.
We pause
Mr. Bean or something.
I feel like I want to see you do some Mr. Bean type stuff. What's a classic Mr. Bean bit?
Oh, there's so many. Mr. Bean is so fabulous.
Just like,
Yeah, I mean, it's just noises and like really intense facial expression.
Mr. Beanie, come on.
He doesn't talk, so I don't really know.
I feel like it's just him like fumbling with things
like a candy wrapper in church.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But that is one of my favorite sketches of him, is when he's in church singing like the hymns and he can't find the right hymns in the hymnal.
Yeah, I don't know what movie that is.
And he keeps trying to, I think it's not a movie, I think it's from his show. Like it's like a sketch.
So you watched that was he an influence on your comedy?
Big time. I love Mr. Bean.
Oh, that's so cool.
I loved Mr. Bean growing up.
I think it suits you, no pun intended. Like you look great.
We talked a lot about butts today. Skunks, anal glands, smells.
I feel like we should bleep out every time you said anal glands on this episode.
Is that a fly on the blind?
I think that's a June bug. We're playing. We're having fun.
We need to go. We gotta go. We gotta get rid of this bug.
We're not going to get rid of it. Like
The bug? No, you
you're
put it outside.
wearing a
where it
suit. You look like a
belongs.
mobster. You're like, we got to get rid of this bug.
Yeah, we are gonna get rid of this
The
bug.
suit implied like you were going to rub it out.
What?
I don't know. Some sort of mobster.
Is that a
term.
mobster thing? Doesn't that mean something real not
No,
mobster?
no, it means like murder.
Rub it out?
Yeah.
Love, I don't think that's what that means. Wait, are you being serious? Because I'm the one who's like sheltered brain.
It's like a Dick Tracy thing. Yeah, it's like a
Rub it out?
not it. Not rub it out. Rub him.
You said rub it out.
That is not what I said.
All right, guys. I guess I gotta go rub it out. I'll see you next week.
Christ.